We're very excited about the honor that Deborah is receiving today. It's very well deserved. She is and was a great mom. She's a great grandmother. Her grandchildren especially reminded me of what a great mom she was.
Wave. Say hi. Hi, Grandma. We love you. We miss you.
We miss you.
Come see us.
Come see us.
I know that one time or several times when we've gone to Midland to see our grandchildren, who now number 4 out there, the boys have been very excited to see her. As a matter of fact, they sort of pushed me aside when I walked in the door and wanted to know where Grandma was because they wanted to see her and talk to her and play with her. Our granddaughter here in Austin, Texas, Mary, just loves spending time with Deborah. And Deborah and her get along great. They go out and they do things. And for me, we're very, very blessed at the Hammond household. All 3 of our children have gone on to successful careers. They've all graduated from college. They have good jobs. 2 of them are married and have children. And I think in large part it's due to Deborah's skill and involvement with them throughout their entire lives.
My mom, when I was little, would make us do our homework every night, and I probably wasn't the most diligent student about remembering to do my homework. And she would go to the lengths of borrowing my friends' quizzes, homework, writing down all the answers, erasing them, going to Minyards, making a photocopy of the test or the quiz, and then making me do it at home, just so that we would actually do all our studies because I'd conveniently forgotten to bring the quiz or test home with me.
So at our house, we built a lot of Legos, my brother and I, and we'd always want to show them to my mother. But when we would hand it to her, she would, she would not hold it the right way, and so a wing would snap off of the spaceship or something would just sort of come loose. And so eventually we just told her, no, just look at it.
Deborah was my original and secretly most favorite tennis partner ever.
So about that racket.
Her energy on the court, always laughing, fun to go out to lunch with, puts her heart and soul into everything she does.
She's never said a bad word about anyone for as long as I've known her. She finds something of interest in everyone and is engaged in a conversation and really listens well.
I think my mom is very interested in capturing who people are, and I think that's the key to building relationships with people, to truly knowing them and to be interested in who they are, not who you want them to be. So I think I've learned how to have relationships with people because she's been so interested in me and interested in having a relationship with me, and also just loving me and loving me for who I am and not wanting me to be her version of myself. And so I think that's profoundly impacted me, that she loves me, that my dad loves me, so that I can be confident in who I am and have healthy relationships with other people.
Growing up, she always encouraged us to pursue the arts at school and at home, and I remember a lot of the art I made at school. When I brought it home, she would take it, and I sort of wanted it for myself, but she would often frame it and hang it up on the wall.
Deborah has always been interested in the arts. Most recently, she spent a whole month in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and she and 3 other students produced an amazing documentary about a family there in Clarksdale. They filmed it, they edited it, they put it together. It's a great film, and she had a spectacular time there, and the documentary, in terms of its quality, is just amazing.
When I was in about 8th grade, my mom had a mobile DJ company and did gigs, weddings, parties, stuff all around Dallas, and I would go and help her set up all the equipment and usually stay for the event and help her with it. And just doing that, I really had a great appreciation for music of all ages and styles, because the parties were definitely diverse.
She's also a great writer. When she puts your mind to it, she can produce excellent written pieces. If you see some of her Facebook postings, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But she's a great writer. She's an accomplished musician, the flute and the piano, and I try to coax her into playing the piano more lately at our house, and have had some success with regard to that. But she's an accomplished, very accomplished person.
Well, my mom loves people, and I think because she loves people so much, she loves stories, and art is all about storytelling and about people and human relations and relationships. And I think that's where her love for the arts comes from, because she loves people and she loves to show that, and she's very interested in people, and I think her empathy wants to capture people, whether it's a camera or dancing or teaching my Girl Scout troop to line dance in our living room when I think I was in the 3rd grade. I think it's all about her love for people and her want to build relationships and to show people love. And I think she also wants to capture who people are, and I think that's very important, and it all stems from her love for her family and her love for her friends.
Deborah and I volunteered together in many areas. I was Phil's Boy Scout Webelos leader. She helped me a great deal with all of our projects and with many of the sports that our children, both boys and girls, were engaged in. We were cookie makers and water bringers, and we drove these kids everywhere. She never stopped doing what she could.
Another part of her volunteer effort was the Junior League. And as part of her placement, she would work at the Parkland Psychiatric Ward. And when she worked over there as an intake person for Parkland, she told me that on multiple occasions she did meet Jesus, because Jesus happened to come into the room, was brought to Parkland perhaps for purposes of therapy, and so she had that experience at Parkland as a social worker.
I think it's just inspired a sense of community in me, and in church for sure, and just in the community in general with the kids' school, her involvement in the PTA, and just being involved in our elementary school and all the crafts and art days, and just knowing how important that stuff is and how important it is to the kids to not just do math and science all day, and also have a fun art side.
She showed that you can be a person that does it all, and she did, and she still does.
Whether it was in our school, in our PTA, in my Girl Scouts, at soccer, attending every single theater appearance, I think she sees the importance of showing up in her family and also in community. She was very involved in Junior League, and I think that taught her a lot about leadership and impacting the community. But I think my mom also does it in really small ways that people don't as much notice. And I don't think she's interested in doing things for getting credit for things. She's interested in showing up for people in their lives. My mom greatly supports and understands the importance of education in us and her children and her grandchildren, but also in the community. And I think this is why this award means so much to her, and why she's so grateful and wants to support Austin Can Academy and sees the huge impact that they're making in the community and working with these students, because every child is important, and she values them and sees a future for them and is so grateful for this honor, but also grateful to support them. And I think she's really enjoyed getting to know the students and seeing them, and I think the process of this has been a great joy for her.